Afraid. Afraid is a scary feeling that you get. Afraid is, it could be up to petrified. It could be, it makes you a pit in your stomach. It makes you could shake. You could take precautions. You could hide. You could avoid something. An example would be if you've done something wrong and you don't want anybody to find out. That could be afraid. You could be afraid. If you have a debit card and you check your balance at the bank and it says you've got more than you've got, then you find out that you really don't have any more money. You could be afraid because you don't get paid for a few more days and you've got to pay for something. You thought you had the money. That could be afraid. You could be afraid if you cannot make your house payment. That can make you really afraid because you don't know what to do. It's your house. My example of afraid is I have two. I had two stalkers. One was in Las Vegas, and I had a guy that we would go swimming, and he would come out at night and watch us at the pool, and he would walk his little dog, but he would stand in the shadows, and he would watch us. And then when my ex-husband was gone, he would stand outside my window and just stare up at my window. So I would shut my blinds and turn them the right way so he couldn't see up into my house. And I wouldn't go out and do laundry. It was outside of our door, out in a little, kind of like a storage room. But it was just a little washroom, and I wouldn't go out there unless I made sure he wasn't out there. Another one was a guy he was across the street, and it was a 2-level house with 2 apartments on each floor, and he would stand in his window, and the blinds were vertical, and he would swipe his blinds, and he'd be standing in his dirty underwear, or he would come out on his porch and stand there in his dirty underwear. Every morning when I would go to work, every morning when I shut my car door, he would flip on his porch light. So I knew he was watching me. He would get in our garbage. He would get in our mailbox. One day, with the flipping on the light, I would change my schedule and I'd say, I have to be here. I'll be here between 5 and 7, but every day he watches me. And it didn't matter what time I left. Every day he'd flip on the light, and that made me afraid because I didn't know what to do, and I had knives at every door, every window. I was afraid that he would come and attack me, and I would sit on the porch and open the screen door. I left it open all the time so he couldn't see my feet, and I would smoke with my feet up on the step and make sure he didn't see me while I smoked. And one day I walked out to my car, and there was a thing that Christmas lights come in, the thing that they're all wound up in, and there was a picture of us out in our yard. That made me very afraid because he was taking pictures of us. That made me very afraid. Very, very afraid. Afraid for my family, and that made me very, very afraid.